Here we are. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor. You know, this is the third time I started to record this podcast. I goofed it all up, said the wrong words, had to start all over. When I record a podcast in the afternoon, I find that I'm not that focused. When I do it early in the morning, I have my cup of coffee. I've got that stimulus of caffeine in me. I'm ready to go. In the afternoon, I want to take a nap. Listen, I was looking at some numbers this morning. And, we've been talking about this real estate market and what's going to happen in the real estate market on home prices. Are they going to go up some more? Are they going to come down some more? In my gut feeling, it is going to be a whole bunch of mixture. Some areas are going to go up some more. California might go up a little bit more. Other areas might go down a little bit more. But what we're seeing at the moment is that house prices are dropping. And it's picking up steam. And per Redfin, as I was looking at Redfin this morning, it said, on rolling 4-week basis, share of listed homes for sale with cuts to the price is currently higher than any other time since at least 2015. So that means people are beginning to start cutting. There's a little bit more inventory on the market. People are holding back on buying anything because of the high interest rates and plus the high prices also. So we're going to see a mismatch, whatever you want to call it. A really gobbledygook. That's another real estate term, gobbledygook of numbers, because I think that there's going to be certain areas where people are moving into where the real estate market will probably hold. But if you're looking at places that people are moving out of and they're trying to get out of there as fast as possible, you're going to see more numbers dropping. Now, I have a sneaking feeling California might stay a little bit higher for another week or two, but then it's going to have to start dropping. You've got too many adjustable rate loans over there. The interest rates are going up. People are not able to afford them anymore, so we're going to see a drop. Now, there's a whole bunch of people out there saying what's going to happen in the market, and here I am at it too. I'm just going by what gut feeling and by what I'm reading, like in Redfin and Trulio and all these other real estate markets out there or websites, and looking at the numbers of houses that used to be up at a certain price and now they've dropped down and they've dropped down the second time, you have to begin to wonder that we might be seeing an adjustment in the real estate market. And I think we're going to see it even more. And I think we're going to run into a little bit of trouble. I hate to say this, but I feel that we're going to run into a little bit of trouble because you've got all these individuals who have bought $1 million homes, especially in California. Because remember, like in Orange County, the minimum price is $900K for a home. And the other parts of California is $500K. But you had individuals who sold their house and bought another house at about $1 million plus. And now they're seeing that they can't make the payments because they went on an adjustable rate mortgage, which means when the rates go up, so does their payment. And that's not a good feeling at all. And so people are thinking right now, well, gosh, now what should I do? Should I sell my home? Should I wait? What am I supposed to do? Listen, I wouldn't do anything at the moment. I would kind of just hold it out and see what's going to happen in this marketplace. You don't want to buy a home because it's not very bright if you do this. If you buy a home that's way too expensive, that should not be there, where the numbers are just way out of line, where a home price of a 900 square foot house or a condo and you're paying $1.3 million, let me tell you something, that's too much. It's too much. So we need a really big adjustment in the market so that more and more people are able to buy a home at a reasonable price. Now in California, I don't know if there will ever be a reasonable price, because if you look at the San Francisco market, if you look at the Los Angeles market and the Glendale and the Pasadena and all those areas, those are still solid markets. And it seems like people are dumb enough that they're willing to pay overpriced for a home. It's dumb. That's not how you make real estate. That's how you lose real estate. By paying too much for a house that you can't afford. So I would suggest that you would wait. You've seen what the market will do. If it hits a good point where you feel comfortable with that dollar amount of spending on a house, then go ahead and buy. But you better make sure that the interest rates are in line with what you can afford. Remember, just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you make a lot of money. If you are wasting it and putting it into a house that can drop in value so quickly that you have an upside down loan, you're not very smart. Listen, I have been through these markets before. I have monitored it, I have watched it, I have seen, and I've lost money and I've made money on real estate. But we cannot be dumb enough to think, oh, I really need this house. Aunt Sue has a house, so I need to get a house. Or my brother got a house, so I need a house. No, you sit back and you become a smart individual and say, I might not need this house because it's too damn expensive. Because no one ever thinks, okay, I am going to have a high mortgage rate, which means it could be, I think in California it's running about $4,000. That's dumb. When you can go to another part of the country and get an $1,800 mortgage payment each month on a much nicer house. More land. So you don't want to make those kind of dumb mistakes, because that's going to get you into a lot of sticky wickets and a lot of hot water. I love all these terms. I tell you, let me talk about being stupid, okay? In the South, we have a saying. And when you say it, people think, oh, they're so nice. They're being so nice. But when we actually say it, what we're telling you is that, you know what, you're really a dumbhead, okay? So when you hear somebody from the South say, oh, bless your heart, that means they don't think you're very bright. Oh, I just bought a house for $1 million. Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart, you little dumb idiot. But in the South, we say it very nicely so that you'll never know that we're putting you down. Bless your heart. Listen, don't make bad financial decisions at the moment. Make sure that before you even think about buying a house, that you've paid down whatever debt that you have. If you've got student loan debt, pay it down. If you got a house, not a house, but if you've got a car payment, pay it down. If you got a credit card, pay it down. Whatever debt you have, start with the smallest and work your way up to the biggest until finally it's all done. When you get to the point where you can buy that house, you will be debt free so that you can focus on your house. Remember, when you buy that house, along comes with it the repair costs on air conditioning, the repair costs on plumbing, the property taxes on it, and the list goes on. So if you can get rid of all this debt, then you'll have extra money to spend on the house and on all the repairs that come with it. I tell you right now, I'm in the South, and we are at, I just looked and let's see, what are we at? We are at 93 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's hot. Now, what happens if I own this house and the air conditioning dies? I might have to buy a new house. I mean, not a new house, but buy a new air conditioner. I might have to have it repaired. Those are big buckaroos. So you better be putting money away if you're going to buy that house, because you're going to need it. There are more costs in operating a house than if you are renting and everything is taken care of by the landlord. Sometimes it's a lot easier that way. You don't have to worry about the property taxes. You don't have to worry about the homeowners association. You don't have to worry about repairing the air conditioning or the oven if it goes out. But if you buy that house, make sure that you can meet the mortgage payments and pay for any emergency extras that come along. It's not easy. So if you're thinking about buying a house now, just wait. You don't need it right now. Be smart with your money. And say to yourself, okay, you know what? I can do much better. I can do something here that I can really make some money and save some money at the same time. That's the most important thing. Sometimes we get pushed into these situations where we have to outdo the other person, especially if you've got a friend or a sister or brother or somebody, or a friend that you know from work or whatever it may be. There's always this type of situation where you are trying to compete against each other, and you in your mind you convince yourself, gosh, I really need this house, I really need to buy it. Speaking from experience, there are good times to buy a house and there are wrong times to buy a house. During this inflationary time, with the market so aggressively overpriced, now is not the right time to buy a house. Now is not the right time to buy a car. Now is not the right time to go out and take your charge card and go to Armani or Gucci or wherever you're buying from and rack up a debt. It's not the right time. Now is the time where you pay off your debt and where you put up another bank account where you are saving for a rainy day or for a major fire if you're in California. But here we have rainy days. California, you have major fires. But here we have rainy days, so we save up for it. And when we need to buy tires for the car, the money's there. That emergency fund is there. Think about how you're using your money. Think about where you stand at the moment. If you haven't sat down and done a budget, do it. It's vital. When we are in a recession, and we are in a recession right now, now is the most important time for you to sit down and do your budget on a monthly basis, and also compare your actual expenses against your budget to make sure that you are curtailing your expenses. And if you are married, don't let the person that is good with numbers do it. You guys do it together. Because you've got to know where you both stand and what you're working on. And if you don't do that, you're going to be making some huge mistakes. One of you is going to go out and buy that brand new Trans Am, and the other person is going to go out and buy a Gucci purse. And then you're going to say, where's my money? It's because you didn't work together on your budgeting plan. It's so vital. Do it. If you need help, let me know. Listen, if you want more access to me, go to www.lodge-co.com, and you can see all of my podcasts. You can also help me out by buying me a coffee. I'd greatly appreciate that. And become a full-time member so that you're getting my blogs and podcasts on a daily basis. I'd really love for you to do that, because today I posted in my blog, does your estate have an inheritance tax? It's good to know that, because you've got to plan that too. Remember, I talked to you about getting your will and estate up to speed. I hope you've done it. But you can see there today that I've posted on, does your estate have an inheritance tax? Listen, I've got to go. My time's up here. The clock's ticking down. I only have 15 minutes to do this in, and my 15 minutes is up. I will talk with you soon. God bless. Talk to you soon. Bye.